ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय।
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि।
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्।
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। रामानुजदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। சீரொன்று தூப்போல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாருண்டச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
So we are now talking about Yoga Vidhi. Atha Yogam Vyakhyāsyāma. So we are going to see the fifth timing among the five, what we call Panchakala Prakriya. Atha is a word used in almost many books that, as we understand, Atha is a very auspicious term, word, which means just then. So you will ask the question, after what? After which we say Atha then. We will use the word then, T-H-E-N, only after some discussion, some topic earlier. Akara vacho Vishnu, therefore it is very auspicious. Number A, syllable A denotes Lord Sriman Narayana. And the Shastras begin with Atha. Now, even the, what you call Yoga Shastra started Atha Yoga Anusasana. So, Yoga, as we understand in different terms in English and Sanskrit, namely meditation, dhyanam, upasanam. Again, almost same. There is no even little difference between the two. Upasanam, dhyanam. Concentrated thinking of the Lord without any deviation, distraction, and so on. And yoga, of course, I can say, tends to sleep. So we close our eyes, we remain alone in a small particular place. So we use a particular asanam for dhyanam, padmasanam, as we say, and because yoga includes both physical discipline and also mental discipline. So now we are going to understand the rule, vidhi, the niyamas, the conditions of yoga. Generally, it is what we call a comprehensive part of the entire day. And tatra, so Vyakhyāsyāmaha, we will explain. The royal V. So every book explains, and Vedanta Deshika takes this forum, namely Pancaratra Raksa, as his medium. So tatra there, Ananya Prayojana Adhikartavyaha, Yoga Visheshaha. This is the main qualification, as all of us know, that we are not to seek any other shelter, any other advantage We do not pray for any other benefit from the Lord except meditation, except dhyana, except, as we understand Sharanagati, total surrender. Why do we do total surrender? The total surrender is only for total surrender. The new man's idea of studying in a university. Why do you study in a university? It is for the university's sake. That's all. Nothing else. So, ananya prayojana adhikartavya. So, we must be qualified to say, to understand that we don't seek any other protection. We don't seek any other, ask for refuge. Go for a shelter. Go for our succor. SUCCOUR. Our American spelling SUCCOR. So, ananya prayojana adhikartavya. We must become a qualified person. So, that is called yoga vishesha. So, that is a special yoga here. Yoga doesn't mean simply as we understand in other contexts, simply the discipline, physical discipline and mental discipline. Our mind is directed towards Lord Sriman Narayana. That is very important in our sampradaya. So what kind of Almighty, what kind of the Supreme Soul? Idrishaha. So by studying a lot of books from the Acharyas, we understand that Paramatma is so and so. The Supreme Soul is so and so. Idrishaha, this type. So we have come to understand a little more. We have come nearer the meaning. We have not achieved the understanding, full understanding, 100% complete understanding. But we are trying to understand more and more. So now Paramatma I am. We understand that we are near him. That is, Lord is near us. Proximity is there. There is proximity. We are near each other. That we must understand. He is in our heart because we are able to think of him. The heart and the brain work together. The heart, what you call the physical part, the brain on the head, as we say, the physical part, Tamilல mugulamnu சொல்வாங்க. Tamilல mukulam. It is behind our head. That's why we say that we must wear helmet when we travel in a two-wheeler. So it is out to avoid danger, risk to the back of the head. And so the brain is a physical part, the heart is a physical part. Two put together, we call it mind. Manaha, that is the 11th sense organ of our body. And all should work properly by His grace. All should be in balance. The hormones. So we understand, today I am understanding more, not completely. I am understanding more and more every day. That this is Paramatma. He is very near me, nearest to me. Ityadina, by this feeling, Shi Shandilya Smriti Uktaha, Prageva Darshita. It has been shown earlier itself, Prageva, earlier itself, Darshita has shown that Shi Shandilya Smriti. Shandilya is the name of the Guru of, all of you know, King Janaka. And he has written a Smriti out of the 28 Smritis available. Smriti, as you understand, simple literal meaning is remembrance. We don't tend to forget. We are not supposed to forget. So remember all the concepts, understand how Lord is, what form. We have confusing statements. For example, in Vishnu Sahasranama, you see here, you see a sentence there, you see a shloka with the line, Anuhu, Brihat, Krishaha, Sthulaha, Gunaha, Nirgunaha, Mahan. Anurbrhat Krishastolo, Guno, Nirguno, Mahan. Adrida Swadrida Swasya Pragvamsho Vamshavardhanaha. So we say that he is in the form of atom, invisible atom, even less quality, less quantity, not quality, less quantity than the atom, proton, neutron, electron, and neuron. And also, the scripture says, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. He is also the greatest of the greatest of the creations that we see. So here, Shandilya instructed King Janaka, and therefore King Janaka was a karma yogin, who is the anushtata of the discipline of action. By that he reached his final goal. Then Sri Saptadadi Upadishta Yoga Prakaranam Abhirodhasya Samyak Samarthitaha. Already we saw that there is no difference between many books like Sri Saptata Samhita. So Saptata Adi, etc. So many books we have to explain the nature of Lord Sriman Narayana, what we call Brahman, Parabrahman. And therefore, so the advice given by the Saptata Samhita does not differ from the Yoga Prakara, that is the procedure of the yoga. So avirodha, there is no contradiction. There is no contradiction. Samyak samarthita. It has been already established earlier. So in the pages before 150, we have been going through many books and on the nature of Lord Sriman Narayana. So Tatra Bhagavan Parasharaha tu evama. So in this context, in that context, Bhagavan Parashara. Parashara is a great sage, father of Veda Vyasa. So Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya, Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. Vishnu's incarnation, another incarnation is Vyasa. Veda Vyasa, otherwise called Krishna Dvaipayana. Many names are there. The author of Mahabharata, many Puranas, and also Srimad Bhagavata. Whereas Parashara wrote only Vishnu Purana. His father wrote only one Vishnu Purana, one Purana, namely Vishnu Purana, Sri Vishnu Purana. So here this Parashara is different from that Parashara, or maybe. So and two, but Evamaha. So we have Parashara Samhita. Maybe they are one and the same. Now we are not to worry about they say the difference in names and difference in books. So Parashara too, but Evam Aha said so. Aha said this, Evam so. Atma Prayatna Sapeksha Vishishtaya Manogati Tasyaha. Visarga is there. Brahmani Samyogaha Yoga iti Abhidhi. Now what is to be called yoga? Yoga iti abhidhiyate. It is said to be abhidhiyate. It is said. Iti thus. The term yoga. What is yoga? It is some yoga. Yoga itself means yuga, as you know, yuga. We are calling 4 yugas and we are in Kali Yuga. And each yuga is closely linked to the other next yuga. They are not separate yuga. One comes to a stop, the other begins. Therefore, it is called yuga. Yuga meaning 2. So there cannot be a 2 yuga as we say, understand. So, but you understand, 2 incarnations dash each other, Parashurama and Rama. We do not know how to understand this. How incarnations can clash with each other. So, of course, Balarama is not considered incarnation, though in Lakshmana is also not considered incarnation. But we have the what you call it is an incarnation, but it's called the Amsha incarnation. Amsha incarnation, namely Adishesha, and the weapon, namely Chakram, became Shatrughna. The Panchajanyam, the conch, became Bharata as brothers of Rama. Here, Samyogaha meaning, Samyogaha means right union, the correct blend of the individual soul, namely our Jivatma and Brahmani in the Supreme Soul, within the Supreme Soul. Leela Shuka is a nickname. His name was, original name was Bilva Mangala, an author of the famous book called Sri Krishna Karnamritam. Sri Krishna Karnamritam. He wrote about 300 verses in Sanskrit beautifully, imagining R-I, A-W-R-Y. His imagination ran helter-skelter, and it is very interesting to go through all the 300. And in one of the 300, he says, Pashya, look at that. Do you want to understand the meaning of the Upanishads? Yes. So, look at the martyr, M-O-R-T-A-R. Ural, Tamil, Ural. You say Ulukhalam, Ulukhalaha. So, Upanishad Arthaha, Ulukale Baddhaha, he said. You see, Lord Krishna tied it to a martyr. Where is the pestle? Olaka enge. Avanna Olaka. Lord Krishna is the Olakai. Pestle, P-E-S-T-L-E. So Ulukhalaha, Ulukale Baddaha. Who tied him to the martyr? Yashoda. How did she do it? She did not do it. He made her do it. கண்ணினும் சிறுத்தாமினால் கட்டுண்ண பண்ணிய பெருமாயம். She tried and failed. Her efforts were in vain. But he made her tie up. She found always the short of the rope. The rope was shorter than the required length. And therefore, Alvar said, Kanninun Shirittaminal Kattunna Panniya Perumay. And therefore, so this is what you call Samyogaha. Yashoda identified Lord Krishna as the Almighty, and she forgot also. She often forgot it, she often realized it. So this is our case also. So Brahmani, of course, we have not realized like Yashoda, but we read his adventures. We visualize his incarnations. So Brahmani, Hindi, we have two Tamil quotations. It is it's a rather practical, simple sentence. You go home. It's you visit a house. There you see a big dog standing as a security. You are afraid of the dog. As soon as you see the dog, you are terribly afraid because it is let loose. It is not tied up. And the owner of the house, the owner of the dog, invites you because he is waiting for you. He invites you into the house. And he says, it is only a doll. It is not a real dog. So that is what we have a sentence in Tamil. Kallai kandal, nayai kano. Nayai kandal, kallai kano. It is made up of stone. It is not made up of peppermint. Peppermint, the beautiful dolls are realistic. So, Kallai Kandal Nayai Kanam, Nayai Kandal Kallai Kanam is differently interpreted in different ways. Suppose we want to hit the dog to drive it away, we don't find a stone nearby. That is not the meaning. That is not the meaning. நாயை அடிக்கிறதுக்கு கல்லு தேடினோமானால் கல்லு கிடைக்கல, அது இல்லை இது அர்த்தம். ஸோ ஸோ கல்லை கண்டால் நாயை காணோம், நாயை கண்டால் கல்லை காணோம். We found the stone, but we don't have a dog to drive out. So in the same way, you see anything realistic, a doll of elephant. So another one is, you have a very big object and you identify it as Lord Brahman, the Supreme Soul. Marathin, you see a tree, very big tree, very big banyan tree, as you say. Banyan tree. Look at the banyan tree, or you can even say the people tree, Arasamaram, Arasamaram. And we have Ashwatha tree, very big Ashwatha tree. Marattai maraitadu parmudar bhutam. We are referring to Lord Sriman Narayana. Marattai maraitadu parmudar bhutam. Marattin maraindadu parmudar bhutam. If you see it as a tree, there is no Lord there. When you see it as a Lord, you don't see the tree. So it is not a parallax error that you see with the wrong vision. You have a good vision, you see the tree, that means you don't see the Brahman there. Nilakanta Dikshita, a very great author of Madurai, he was the chief minister of Tirumalai Nayaka king in those days. And he wrote 100 plus odd books in Sanskrit. And he wrote in Nilakanta Vijaya Champu, a book called Nilakanta Vijaya Champu, about Lord Shiva. He says, Ashwatha tree is worshipped by all. Ashwatha tree is worshipped by all. Even for us, Ashwatha is a very important tree. I think we come across a name in Vishnu Sahasranama also. And it is a special tree which gives out oxygen at night and absorbs carbon dioxide. Where all other trees exude carbon dioxide at night and they inhale oxygen. And then they grow. And therefore one can lie down at night and sleep under Ashwatha tree, not any other tree. Very safe there. But if you lie down and sleep under any other tree, that is very unsafe. Because the breath itself will be hard. And therefore, so why I say this is, Ashwatha is a special creation. And therefore, so Ashwatha is used in scriptures, many times in scriptures. The portions like Achhidra, Ashwamedha and so on. There are special trees used in yagas. So we are talking of samyoga between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul, Brahmani samyogaha. How? So what are we to do? Tasyaha Brahmani. We must understand the previous line. So Manogatihi is feminine in gender and therefore Tasyaha, her. What is that her? So Manogatihi, our mind musings, our thoughts. Manogatihi. Ya Manogatihi, which movement of the mind, that is working of the mind, namely our deep thoughts, Vishishta, special, extraordinary, where? Atma Prayatna Sapeksha. Our mind should exert itself to try, it is not to find out, to try to find out who is Paramatma. This Atma is Paramatma here. It is not Jivatma. Of course, Atmanaha Prayatnaha, that means Jivatma's efforts, Jivatma's efforts, individual soul's efforts to find out, to try to find out. At any time we are not able to find out. But once we find out, we get what we call moksha. So Atma Prayatna Sapeksha, we must have an aptitude to make efforts, Herculean efforts to understand what the Supreme Soul is. And if our mind works towards that, then that is called yoga. I think we all must appreciate this kind of definition. We have been going through this yoga, as we said, nididhyasanam, as we say in scriptures. Mantavyam, shrotavyam, mantavyam, nididhyasitavyam, the scripture says. 3 words. You must hear the nature of the Lord. Shrotavyam. Then you dote upon that. Roll your mind on the nature of Brahman. Mantavyam. Think of it. Then nididhyasitavyam. You go to the subconscious mind, understand what Brahman is, what Paramatma is. So Tritiya 159, we will go to that one. So ayameva tu ananya prayojanasya yoga. When we don't think of any other object, no other God, then we don't seek any other advantage from any other object or personality or divinity and so on. We call many divinities. So ananya prayojanasya yoga. We are not to seek any advantage. We are not to seek any advantage from any other deity. So that is called yoga. Ayam eva. This itself is yoga, the discipline, namely the mental regularity, as we say, mental regularity. To ananya prayojanasya. No other advantage. Kshudra yogantarani tu siddhyantararthani eva yoga shastreshu pachanti. Supposing we want to seek lesser goals, not the supreme goal, lesser goals, that is what we call the mundane, worldly desires to be fulfilled. So when we want that, we can observe what we call Kshudra Yoga. Kshudra Yoga is, you can say, lesser in quality. Kshudra meaning mini yoga. So Kshudra Yoga Antarani. Meaning these are all not good yoga procedures. Meaning the quality is less. So we sometimes we don't seek the best. We go for example, to buy things, we go for cheaper things. Kshudra Yoga Antarani. So this is cheaper yoga. And they have successes. There is no doubt they are successes. Siddhyantararthani. We get some successes. For example, in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, there are so many monks, saints, sadhus, sannyasis, yatis, and so on. They don't make some miracles. If the miracles come their way, they accept it. No doubt. But we have very good examples in Ahobila Matham as well as Srirangam Periya Andavan Ashram. We have been hearing such miraculous happenings in both ashramas. But the head of the mutt does not depend upon such a temporary, wonderful incident. I think we have heard about Kadandetya Andavan in and whatever he said came true. Or some other Andavan, I'm not remembering. But in the case of 27th or 28th Arishingar in Tiruvallur, he was a witness to a very, very fine, wonderful incident. And therefore, we hear them. Sometimes we don't believe them also, unless we experience them. We are not such great personalities to understand, to have such a miracle in our life. Such a great miracle in our life. We have miracles. Smaller miracles. So Yoga Shastreshu Pathyante. In the sciences of yoga, we can read them. It is in passive voice. They are read Pathyante. Yadyapi, even so, Ananya Prayojanasyapi Tatra Tatra Ukta Nyasa Vidya Bhedat. So along with the Kshudra Yoga Antarani, along with the minor silly, I could say silly yogas which are sought to be practiced by people, then if we are not ready to go to or approach any other God, Ananya Prayojanaha Vayam, if we are not ready to seek any advantage other than Lord, then the books also have that Nyasa Vidya. Out of the 32 Vidyas, as we understand from Sri Bhashyam and Srimad Ragasya Trayasara of Vedanta Deshika, so we have Nyasa Vidya, what you call the knowledge of total surrender, the knowledge of deposit. Nyasa means deposit. You deposit your soul, your belongings. As we say, your soul and your belongings. No, it is his soul and his belongings. Never we consider that the soul, Jivatma, is my soul. This is my body, and this is my belonging, my property. Everything is his. So that attitude is the most important one, and that Nyasa Vidya has been already explained. Because of this difference between the minor yoga and Nyasa Vidya, we have Swanishta Vishayata Vishaya Tat Tat Samhita Ukta Prakriya Bhedat Cha Anusandhe Rupa Guna Vibhutyadikam Nana Bhavat. Now, how do we get a lot of difference between the books when we have a particular pinpointed auspicious characteristics of the Lord, which are different in different books. Different in different books means a great list is there, and the list is unexhaustive, and so among them the books choose a few qualities. Therefore, what should we meditate upon? Anusandheya, what is to be meditated upon? So we have to understand the nature of God, the form of God, Rupa, Guna, the quality of God, Vibhuti, his property, Adikam, etc. Nana Bhavati, they are different. They look to be different. They seem to be different. But why? Swanishtha Vishaya, because we are attuned to something. Swanishtha Vishaya. We was discussing about ashramas procedures, especially in Srirangam, Srimad Andavan Ashrama. We have different nishtas practiced. Ukti nishta, Acharya nishta, Swanishta, and so on. So many other divisions also. The goal is same, the road is different. So Swanishta, when you are following something called Nishta, a discipline, what you call adherence, Nishta is adherence. Vishaya, matter connected with that, Tat Tat Samhita, when you are following a particular book according to your own willingness, then Prakriya Bhedaha Santi. There are procedural differences are there. Nevertheless, you meditate upon the form, the rupam, the beautiful form, the handsome form, the most handsomest form. Guna, the quality, Vibhuti, and the property, creation, you can say. And in Ashtabhujashtakam, Swami Vedanta Deshika says, in the second verse, he says, Ashtabhujam Prapadye, Swarupa Rupastra Vibhushanadyehi. Swarupa Rupastra Vibhushanadyehi. Paratva Chintam Twai Durnivaram. It is very difficult to imagine all your forms, with all your ornaments, with all the weapons as ornaments. It is very difficult. Durnivaram. But it is very tempting. I want to look at Sri Ranganatha for a long time. I am not allowed to do. So I have what you call yearning, longing for looking at the Namperumal in the Utsava Divyamangala Vigraha while he comes on to my house. So my house again, say. So it is his house. So here, I want to go on looking at that. The paraphernalia, the Adishesha, the couch, the weapons on his hand, 5, the goddesses on the sides, Puma Devi and Sri Devi. So I want to see the garland. I want to see what are the jewels that he has won. So with all this, so my thought is concentrated on that. And then, so this is called Swarupa, Rupa, Astra, Vibhushana. So Astram becomes Vibhushanam. Vibhushanam has become Astram. As you know, if one swallows a gem like diamond, it is very poisonous. It results in death immediate. A gem, the costliest gem, say, the diamond, is a poisonous gem. Therefore, it looks very beautiful, glitters very beautifully, but whereas it's a poisonous one. And therefore, one who consumes that, he will die instantaneously. So, meaning, so there are positive and negative aspects of all objects associated with God. At the same time, we are looking only at the positive one. So, Swarupa, Rupastra, Vibhushanadyehi. So, our thinking of the Lord is relegated to the background when we see the ornaments, when we see the garlands, when we see the weapons, and so on. But Paratva Chintam, Twai, in you, Durnivaram. The temptation is overlooked. So the temptation is the most in our mind. Rupa Rupastra Vibhushanadyehi Paratva Chintam Twai Durnivaram. What? Bhoge Mridupakramatam Abhipsan Shiladibir Varayasiva Pumsam. You don't allow me to go out of the sanctum sanctorum because I want to be with you. I want to be with you always. So Shiladibihi Varayasiva Pumsam. You stop me from going out. You prevent me from going out. Why? Because of the qualities. Because of the blessings that you have already given so far and so forth. And all the time that I spent my life here, so it was very pleasurable. And therefore, I want to be grateful. So I want to convey my gratitude towards you. And therefore, I don't want to move out of you. So that's why I say, Paratva Chintan Tuidirnivaram Bhoge. I want to enjoy. Bhoga is snake, Bhogi is snake, Bhoga is pleasure. So Bhogi is Adishesha. Bhoge Mrudupakramatam Abhivsam. You make me love you little by little. Mrudupakramatam. The progress is slow. Mrudupakramatam. Abhivsan. You don't want me to come to moksha immediately. As Swami Vedanta Deshika in his Varadaraja Panchashat said, Vaikuntha Vase na me Abhilasha. I don't want to go to Vaikuntham. There's no ambition to go to Vaikuntham because I would like to live in Kanchipuram to look at the different types of form, the divine form, on the what we call the vehicles like Hanuman, the chariot, the elephant, the horse, and what we call and so many, etc. Toraga Vihagaraja Sandanan Dolikadishu. I want to see you on the swing, on Dolikadishu. I want to see on the chariot, the car. So Toraga on the horse, Vihagaraja on the Garuda. Toraga Vihagaraja Sandanan Dolikadishu. Adhikam Adhikamanyam Atmashobham Dadhanam. You shine better in all these vehicles. These sevas are not available in Vaikuntham. Therefore, I don't want to go. It is not a journey. It is not a journey. It's simply a shift by a button. Once you get the wisdom, the spiritual wisdom, then jnanat moksha. There is no time lapse between you are getting the knowledge and the wisdom and then getting the moksha. Jnanan moksha. So, tathapi, even then, so Swarupa Nirupaka Anandatva Adi Panchaka Nirupita Swarupe Sarvasheshini Parasmin Brahmani Shigati Purushottame Tattat Vidyodita Rupadi Vishesha Vishiste Manovritti Nairantarya Rupattam Yogasya Avishishtam. It's a very beautiful sentence with a lot of adjectives for the Lord. Lot of adjectives for the Lord. Bahu Visheshanani Santi Brahmana. Here, Parabrahmana. So, Yogasya Avishishtam. Something special with yoga is, what should we do? Manovritti Nairantarya Rupatvam. The form in our mind should never disappear, should continue to be in our heart without getting out. So, Manovritti Nairantarya Rupatvam. There should be no gap, no interval of a split second that my mind thinks of the Lord. That is yoga. How do you get that? Tat tat vidyodita rupadi vishesha vishiste. So you read all that branches of knowledge called 32 vidya, and after reading through all these vidya, you get a what we call a rice, R-I-S-E. You get a rice, you get a promotion. Then you can understand special form of the Lord. Rupa Adi Vishesha. Then your mind is occupied fully by the form, special form of the Lord, and there should be no gap in between. And what kind of the Lord? Purushottami. He is the highest personality. Purushottami. The best personality. Shigati. He is the succor of the Mahalakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Shigati. You can also say that the Shri is, he is the source of all wealth. Shigati. Brahmani is the supreme soul. All in Saptami Vibhakti. All in what you call locative case in Sanskrit. ஏழாம் வேற்றுமையில இருக்கு. எல்லா விசேஷமும் ஏழாம் வேற்றுமையில இருக்கு. என்னென்ன? முதல்ல இருந்து இந்த முதல் பெரிய காம்பவுண்ட் வேர்டு ஸ்வரூபே, சர்வசேஷினி, பரஸ்மின், பிரம்மணி, ஸ்ரீகதி, புருஷோத்தமே. Meaning, when the Lord is in your heart, when, W-H-E-N, எப்பொழுது கடவுள், அதாவது இறைவன், பகவான் நம்முடைய மனதுக்கு வந்தாரா இப்ப போனாராங்கிறதுலாம் கிடையாது. ஏற்கனவே இருக்கார், அங்கதான் இருக்கார். பிடிச்சு தள்ளினாலும் போகமாட்டார். ஆனா அவர் இருக்கிறத நாம ரியலைஸ் பண்ணணும், உணர வேண்டும். So what are the adjectives? So Shigati Purushottame Brahmani, Parasmin, he is the highest. Sarvasheshini, he is the master of all. Swarupe, not Shrimati. We can also say Shrimati. Both are possible. It should be Shrimati. Okay. Auspicious. Srimati just means auspicious. And Srimati also means goddess Shri is always associated with him. So Anapayini, we call it Anapayini, always associated with him. There is no separation. Brooked, Brooked. There is no separation brooked between the couple, divine pair. We always see him as two in one. So Srimati. So Sarvasheshini, thank you for correction, Keshavdas Swami. Sarvasheshini, so the master, then the master of all, Swarupe, in the right form, in the original form. What is that Swarupe? That is what we call is a Swarupa Nirupak. How do you understand a supreme soul? So there are so many qualities which mark the Parabrahma. We have identification marks. So Swarupa Nirupaka Anandatva. It's only given as the only one quality is given here, Anandatva. The other qualities are some qualities are Anantatva, endlessness, Anantatva. Then Bhogyatva. And then you have what you call Nityatva, everlasting. Then Anandatva is full of bliss, full of happiness. And better than, more than all this, more important than all this is Shiyapatitva. Shiyapatitva. Anantatva, endlessness, Anandatva, then Shiyapatitva, then Vibhutva, pervading everywhere, and so on. So many qualities mark him. So Panchaka Nirupita. There are 5 very important. Well, others are also important. So Panchaka Nirupita Swarupe. When we are able to identify him by these qualities, then the figure does not move out of our heart. That is called yoga. Ataha eva, therefore, only. Pratak bodheshu drishteshu chaturshu ashrama karmasu. Samadho yogam eva ekam shandilyam shandilyaha samam uktavan. So Shandilya Smriti says this verse. So Shandilyaha samam uktavan. He said equanimity, with equanimity, samam, equally. So whatever be your ashrama, brahmacharya ashrama, grihastha ashrama, garhastya ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama and sannyasa ashrama. Chaturshu ashrama karmasu. While we are doing the duties enjoined by the scriptures with regard to the particular ashrama where we are in, then pratak bodheshu drishteshu. Though they are look different. Again, I think I must explain to some of you where the brahmacharya and grihastha are not different because of the marriage or non-marriage, wedding or non-wedding. A life partner is there or not. So brahmacharya is celibacy. Brahmacharya is celibacy. Abstaining from all the pleasures of the world is called celibacy. Avoiding all pleasures of this world, happiness of this world is celibacy. That is brahmacharya, not unmarried status. And grihastha, married status. Again, the grihastha householder, that doesn't mean that he is different from brahmachari. So grihastha brahmachari, we call it grihastha brahmachari. This concept is clearly said in ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Meaning that a householder also should observe celibacy. And there is a quality and quantity wise difference. But pratak bodheshu, though they are different, drishteshu, seen as different, then samadho, that samadhi meaning meditation. As we say in Tamil, samadhi doesn't mean the cemetery, where the dead body is buried. That's called the samadhi. That's not samadhi. Samadhi is meditation. Going into a trance, as we say. Trance. Going into a trance, that is meditation in depth. So samadho, yogam eva ekam samam. So samadhi and yoga are equally termed. Samadhi is equal to yoga. In all the 4 ashramas stages, whether we are one in or in any of the 4, any of the 4. So we are supposed to remain in samadhi. Samadhi in the sense meditation, deep meditation, concentrated meditation, unalloyed meditation. Iti Mahabharata Vachanam Susangatam. So this is very pertinent to understand, relevant, Susangatam. Very relevant that Mahabharata says this. Pratak Bhudeshu Drishteshu Chatushrashrama Karmasu Samadho Yogamevaikam Sandilyaha Samamuktam. Atra tu Bhashyakaraha Bhashyakaraadi Ukta Nitya Gadya Stotradishu Yathanusandhanam Uktam Tathaiva Tat Sampradaya Nittaihi Anusandhi. So this yoge anusandeyaha vishaya. Vedanta Deshika is very particular about the complete details from nook and corner of that subject. He wants us to be very clear about the subject.
Ramanjataya Bhatram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimat Venkatanathāryam Mande Vedanta Desikam Kavidarkikasimmaya Kalyana Gunasaline Srimade Venkatesaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. Vadidya Surabhangam Panchanana Paragramaha Sriman Venkatanathārya Siram Vijedam Bhuvihi. சீரொன்று தூப்புள் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் போரென்று தானே அமைய அதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ராமானுஜதயா பாத்ரம் ஞான வைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம்.
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ